Hey everybody! We got news this... Wait. No. No news again. Blizzard, we've talked about this. We need news. Something. Wait. There was something. Cool. A theory.
Yes, Draven.
Are you gonna buy those things?
Maybe.
Alright. We'll let you know what that is here shortly. This is January 29th. I almost did it again. January 29th, 2016, and this is episode 45 of the Epic Fail Podcast.
You are now listening to the Epic Fail Podcast.
Greetings and welcome to the Epic Fail Podcast. I am the host, Draven Dresden. Call me Draven if you want. Whichever. Just don't call me late for dinner.
I'll call you Murder.
That's another name that I have answered to. For those of you who are, new and don't know who that is the female co-host of the Fail Train that I'm dragging them along, kicking and screaming sometimes, which is always fun. And that was from way up north, the land of Canada.
Can you hear the thing rumbling on the tracks?
Is that the Canadian train that's about to derail?
No, it's the transportation we have here in the city. It rumbles outside my window a lot. Anyways, I digress. Hi. It's been a long week. Very long week. So, on the good news, I have dual monitor, so I'm progressing in the gaming world. So that happened.
Yay!
But
what else?
good.
What else have you been up to this week?
Oh, I got 600 and what did I say? 85 unique pets. And yesterday I had the privilege of getting the very last one to rare quality. So I have no more poors or commons or uncommons. They're all rares. And so that is cool. I did some time walking, which we will talk about later because I have stories.
Oh yeah.
And did some Hearthstone. I forgot to play Diablo, but I will be playing that this weekend. So that was, that's what I did.
Alrighty.
Hey, we have Canadians in the chat room. Yay!
Yes, we do. And from pretty much the closest thing to not Canada we have here in America, it is Theory. How you doing this week?
But I do still speak English, so we could probably get closer. I'm well. How are you, sir?
I was tired. Long day at work today.
Yes, me too, sir. Me too. This week, I ended up buying the expansion for Diablo, so I'm going to give that a shot. I only played it for about 2 hours after I bought it, maybe 3. Haven't gotten too far in that because I never actually finished the original story, so I want to do that first. I've had probably 20 different people offer to power level me, and haven't really taken advantage of that yet because I don't even know if I can yet because I still need to do the original story. But I would want to do that anyway. WoW stuff's going good. We'll talk a little bit about that later on. We are progressing on Heroic Archie with the fire department. Wow. That's a mighty big frog you have in your throat, sir.
I had muted myself for the stream, thank you.
I don't know, because that was really loud. It probably went through for everyone, whether they wanted it to or not. So
I was
You may have
muted.
been muted? Okay.
I was muted.
Wow.
I learned how to do that.
So only we have to hear it.
Yes.
So anyway, that's pretty much my week. How about you?
Lots of WoW. My board paladin, since I have more than one paladin, and they're all ret. Got up to the shipyard, almost level 3 there. So I've been mostly doing like LFR and stuff like that. Played some Hearthstone. I did log into Diablo. Somewhere around 100. I think I'm around Paragon level 100 at this point. Still no Ashbringer, because Blizzard hates me. And then I had this bright idea just a couple days ago, and I talked to both of you guys, and I got a reply back from an email that I sent in. It was more a ticket. I put in the ticket saying, "Hey, I don't know if this works like this, but blah 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 podcast." And I got a reply back for you guys' alpha, and they said we don't have access to that kind of information. So I was like, if you could pass it on to the people that do.
Yeah.
So maybe, but maybe not. I don't know. And the reason I mean, not just to, hopefully be nice to you guys for a change. I did have a couple non-spoiler ideas, since news is so plentiful at the moment. We could, go into some alpha stuff, keep people up to date on some of the stuff that's coming up, that kind of thing. But we'll see. But yeah, that's been my week for, WoW stuff, Blizzard stuff. Lots of work. That's been incredibly fun. It's been incredibly something.
Fun.
It's been incredibly something. All right. So, because of the overabundance of no news this week, we thought we'd have a little topic. It's going to be, what can you do in WoW right now? Do we want to do this now, or do we want to wait until actually the WoW segment?
Let's do it now.
You already kind of introduced it, so I guess we do it now.
Do it now! Alright, so what can we do in WoW? Scarlet's already mentioned stuff with the pets. You can level them all up, all that fun stuff. Get them all level 25, hopefully. She didn't mention they were all 25. She said they were all rare. Blue quality.
They are not 25 yet.
So that's something to do. You have any ideas, Theory?
Actually, yes. Before show, did a couple of mythics with a couple of our buddies from one of the raid teams, and they afterwards, when I was kind of getting ready for this, they were doing some achievement and mount runs, and I kind of started looking through some of the achievements, and I noticed that there's like 7 or 8, I think, achievements that actually give me mounts that I'm only 1 or 2 achievements from getting the meta to get them out. So that's definitely something you can do right now. Go back through some of those older achievement runs, get some of those mounts in, pass a little bit of time.
Okay. Yeah,
I started... Oh, sorry.
No, go ahead.
I started doing something similar. I'm getting all the achievements in, like for questing achievements. So I'm going to older zones. Right now I'm doing the Molten Front achievements and trying to get the pet. I'm only missing a few. So, yeah. I'm working on those. Nerd points.
Yeah. I don't have that option to go back and get quest achievements, because I did them already. Like, pre-Cata, Lore Master, post-Cata, Lore Master. Did them already. So yeah, I've got... Basically, at this point, I need... In terms of... I need a few...
Yes,
I need 2 achievements in raids out of Pandaria, and then after that, I just need a couple heroic and raid achievements and random goofy stuff out in Warlord stuff. And a lot of those I can solo. The heroics, probably not, and the raids, no. So, go out and get achievements, that's an idea. Pet battles, there's an idea. You can make tons of gold on your garrisons. My walking around money on my paladin is now 150k. That's a percentage of what I have total.
We actually were talking about this at work a little bit. If you have multiple alts, it's kind of nuts. You can make a ton of gold without working very hard, just by doing your table missions every day. And if you have a master plan or a garrison mission manager, either one of those, it takes you about 3 or 4 minutes to actually do your table and move on to the next character. And you really don't have to do anything else.
I have both of those.
Yeah, me too.
I have a question about your garrison things.
Yes.
Does it not send out your rares on missions anymore for you? So, you know how it auto tells you which followers are the best chance?
Mm-hmm.
On the EXP missions, just on one character, it won't send out anybody who's purple, even if I really feel like doing that.
Okay, you have it set. You have to do it different. You have to go to chance of success. You have it set to probably follower XP or something like that.
Yeah. If I remember right, it's the top left-hand corner. There's a little drop down. Just switch it
by accident or something.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it's a setting.
Yeah.
That is beneficial for other things, but not for making gold.
Yeah.
One of the ones I think that is a rare one that it probably wouldn't let you do is the Blingtron's Vault, which is 1,000 gold. And then if you send it with 3, what's the right treasure hunters?
Yep.
I think it's called. You actually can get 4,000 gold from that.
I was mad. Well, not mad, but bummed. I had a 92% boat mission for 4,000 gold. And it sunk a boat. And then in replacement of it... Oh, no, it didn't sink the boat. It just, failed the mission. But in replacement of it, I got a 200 Apexis crystal mission. Yippee.
You can use that as Apexis, though. You can buy those pieces, buy those tokens for gear, and then sell those for, 8 gold.
Shut up. I already did that.
I know. That's why I said something.
Hey, you know what? I am back to... Well, I was up to 50k, but then I went and filled all my gems with the
big gems?
Immaculate whatevers.
The plus
so I'm back
75?
down to so I'm back down to 20k, but, it's there. I will stop buying pets sometime soon.
Yeah. I'm just going to say, I'm on your raid team on one of my tunes, and that tune happens to be a jewel crafter.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't know that.
I've mentioned this before.
I don't remember people's professions.
So, I'm just going to say, notice he's not saying he would have given you gems. He's saying that he's a jewel crafter. So you could have bought them from Draven, is what he's really saying.
I would have done it cheaper than the auction house at the very least. No,
exactly.
You give me mats, I will do the cooldown.
They were, you know what? They were actually reasonable priced. I bought them for 3.5k each, which is still expensive, but it's not as expensive as it could have been.
Yeah, I've got them on my Paladin because I can make them myself. But outside of that, 50 is good for my alts because they're alts.
Yeah.
See,
My
I'm
alts
doing it a
aren't
little
even
bit differently.
enchanted.
If it's a heroic or higher piece with a socket, I'm spending the money
Yeah,
and just getting the good gems.
yeah. I mean, there are hundreds of ways to do it. So,
Yeah, I think it's different people think of it different ways, but it's not a tremendous amount of stats. If you got 2 gems, you get 50 extra of a stat. But if you're really
it's
trying
an extra
to
gem, yeah.
push it, yeah, it's an extra gem. So I don't know. I mean, I have actually got to the point where I think I don't have anything else I can get from heroic on my paladin at this point. So I spent about 80k on some crafted gear to replace a couple pieces that I couldn't actually get a upgrade for out of HFC, and now I think I'm done until Mythic.
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping for a couple sockets in Warforge, such as Calamity's Edge. That would be nice. I have 1 drop in heroic outside of going min-max best in slot. And that is a trinket off Manaroth. Which apparently, those couple weeks where I couldn't raid with that particular team, Scarlet, it dropped then, but whenever I go, it doesn't.
I'm pretty much the same way. I literally only need Iskar's trinket, and then just whatever happens to be a Warforged upgrade.
Yeah. It's gotten to the point with gear. I might have to talk to Theory because I picked up a few tank pieces.
Oh yeah, okay.
And I will give you crap all the time, and you know this.
Yes.
You rock the DPS meters on a tank.
So you know what's funny about that? I don't. I was looking at
For the groups that we're in.
True. But I was looking at some actual, I guess it would be parses on, I don't know if, I think it was Ask Mr. Robot or Warclock Vlogs. I don't remember.
Yeah.
It was one of them where it was comparing people that were in the same actual item level I am. And there was people doing 100k as a tank on fights. And granted, they were short fights, but you know, they probably had mythically geared people with them, so the fights were almost over. But I'm usually in the 50 to 60k range. So when I'm seeing people that are doing 100, I'm like, no, I suck. So, you know, we'll see about that. I think I'm okay.
Yeah. I did get a kick out of this week's rating. The other paladin that we kind of go back and forth with the contest. He beat me on one fight by like 3k, and I had died to that fight because I had already blown all my cooldowns to live.
He blew his cooldowns.
The fight that I beat him on that mattered, I beat him by almost 30k.
Is that the one you linked on Twitter?
Yes.
Speaking of, that's who I was saying before the show we should have on as a guest. Especially when he gets his coolie thing that he ordered.
Yeah.
So here's a better idea. He can be the third pally in your pally battle with our buddy over at Lag and Balls whenever you're going to throw down.
Yeah, I've been trying to get a hold of him and be like, hey, you know, let's set something up. We'll do something weird. It doesn't matter. We'll go over to the Grand. We'll get that weird tournament gear. That way we have the identical gear. That way there is no gear discrepancy whatsoever. And we'll just go with that. And he was cool with that. And then I haven't heard back from him since, so I'm going to have to like poke him or something.
Yeah, if you remember a while back, we were talking to Cuddles and Ursangus and somebody else was talking about doing a tanking challenge too.
Yeah.
And I kind of threw my hat in the ring for that one because it just sounded like it'd be a lot of fun. Not necessarily that I would win, but that it would just be, you know, a lot of fun. And it just didn't happen. I'm thinking about just doing it on my own.
Yeah.
How are you going to have a tank off by your own?
Well, with multiple people, but organizing it myself is what I'm saying. But
Definitely tanking race, and I will do it.
Yeah, I mean, the way that it was going to be is there was one of each class of tank. So, and then you would go through a few different challenges to kind of see which class performed best. It's kind of ultimate tank off kind of a thing. So, yeah, it was. I think they had everything but DK lined up if I went as a Pally.
I think they had DK. I think what they didn't have was...
Well, I know they had 2 bears. 2 bears, a monk, me as a Pally.
One of the bears decided to go DK is what happened.
Oh, okay.
So that was, yeah. What's the name of that podcast, Ursangus?
Bear meat?
Yeah, well, that's what he goes by. But
right.
What's the podcast name?
I'm blanking.
Udala was going DK, yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Okay.
Chat room, if you remember that podcast, Battle Res Bears. Thank you. Thank you, Stone. WoW challenges. So yeah, I gotta catch up on that one. But yeah.
Yeah, I would like to see that challenge. I would like to see an ultimate ret challenge. We should put some of this stuff together.
Yeah,
it would be cool.
I have lots of ideas. Cool. It's just I got to get with other people to like, how do we make this work? Because if we're just using that tournament gear, I could actually use the paladin I made over on that server.
So what Draven's saying is he has to be social.
I know. I'm not good at it. I'm really good at making fun of people. Including myself.
There's something that we can talk about doing for the next several months until we have something to do.
Yeah. Well, I want to think up something interesting for like stakes. Like, presuming I get a ticket to BlizzCon, they get a ticket to BlizzCon. Something weird out there would be funny.
Getting Draven drunk.
Good luck with that. But I mean,
no.
Yes.
That's it. Yes. You better watch your drink now, especially if Scarlett comes to the party.
She's already said she's not coming. She gave up on it.
We have 2 things coming up this year. We have the X-Pack and we have Overwatch. Well, that. But you also have BlizzCon.
Mm-hmm.
You also have the movie meetup, and I also have my sister's wedding, and I only have 2 weeks to put all that in. And because reasons, I had used 3 days of those 2 weeks last week. So, and my sister, for her wedding, is not just planning a day, but there's like a family dinner Wednesday, a different family dinner Thursday, a freaking thing on Friday, the wedding on Saturday, and then a breakfast on Sunday. So,
well, you don't have to go to the movie meetup. I've pretty much given up on being able to go to it. I'd like to, but
I probably won't be able to do that either because
I already, if I can get a ticket to BlizzCon, I'm going. I'm going to have more money. I will have more money set aside this time, especially considering that I had that hotel issue that I've gone into before. And that was not fun. So I will not have that. Hopefully I will have some people that, nothing against my roommates that I had. They were nice, they were cool, all that fun stuff. But hopefully I will have people I actually know for my roommates and, 3-4 ways or whatever.
Yeah, I've actually got at least one person and maybe 3 people down here that all want to go as well that I work with too. So it's looking pretty good as far as trying to make it happen down here. I'm going one way or another. I'm definitely going, but it's definitely more fun if you can bring people that you know.
Yeah. So, there's lots of things that I would like to go to, but realistically, my monetary situation is no.
Yeah, I know that.
I mean, depending on my refund, I'm video card for my computer first and foremost. After that, if it's way more than I'm hoping, I'm going to Cleveland Comic Con next month, and I'm going to, meet the 11th Doctor in the pond, get my picture taken with, and if it's an exorbitant amount of money, I'll get autographs too.
Can you do me a favor if you do that?
It depends.
Can you lick Matt Smith?
That was pretty good.
So what I will have to do there would be take this show, put it on my phone, highlight that area, and I'm not kidding you, Matt, Mr. Smith, however you want me to address you. This is what she asked.
You're considering this in a way where
No.
you're trying to make it okay.
No,
It is not okay.
it's not gonna happen. I'm just saying. I'm just saying, if it were possible, that would be what I would have to do. So he didn't think I was a total weirdo. I would only be 90.
Have to be the first in line, because otherwise, he's already got the body odor of like 100 million people on him already. So
yeah, I'm literally just going for. If I go, it'll be a picture.
yes, WoW challenges totally just like a big like lick. Like a dog.
Yes, just walk up to him, meow.
And
Poor
then you
I'm
both
sure.
get thrown out of the Comic-Con and have a restraining order like Sheldon for Doctor Who. Yeah.
That would be a story, at least. Not one that I would want, but that would be a story.
As much as I say that, please, anybody listening, don't actually go lick a celebrity. That would be really gross.
Yeah.
It would just be funny to talk about.
Yeah.
Those poor people, I'm sure they've had like people do weird stuff like that.
So that may be the name of the show. Look, a celebrity. I'm just saying.
Like the Doctor.
Like the Doctor. Okay, you have to admit he's the goofiest Doctor.
Yeah. We went from Eccleston, who was funny but serious, to David Tennant, who was just kind of zany.
Hot.
I'll take your word on that. He's a guy, so I don't see him that way. To Matt Smith,
who was
just
hotter.
weird. And then right now we've got Captain Grumpy Pants.
Who is also hot.
Okay then.
But not hotter. He's just hot in an old man way. We had this conversation.
Yes. As Sin and Chaz said, and this one time at Comic-Con.
Yes. What happens at Comic-Con gets denounced everywhere. Just
What happens at Comic-Con gets leaked on the internet.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. Alright. Anyway, let's get back to the topic of what is there to do in WoW right now. Do we have any other suggestions? I mean, there's achievements, make some gold, pets.
Be goofy.
What
Explain.
does that got to do with... Yeah.
Well, like, you don't just go run into Naxxramas, kill all the bosses for the achievements. You take off your gear, and you get the stupid pet cat to go out and follow you, and you go kill the stuff for the achievements, and then you're like, ha, I did this with no gear on, because lols.
Yeah.
And, you make it more fun.
Yeah. Chat, for our audio listeners, chat is bringing up transmog runs, mount runs, that kind of stuff.
You could also
All stuff I do.
sit in deep homes staring at your computer screen for ANX.
I'm a mount collector? No. You can do that. I'm not going to.
I did it for Time Lost.
Okay, there's a difference between these two.
Yes, I know. Which is why I haven't done it as of yet for ANX.
Yeah.
And what's the difference? Because Time Lost is already... I mean, it's called Time Lost.
ANX Deep
Time
Home
Lost-
is phased.
Yeah, Deep Home is phased. ANX can spawn in one of 8 phases. So it could spawn in the realm you're on in another phase. And then you have to wait I think it's like once a week if possible.
Is that the one that flies around the top where the floating rocks are?
Yeah.
I think I've already killed it.
What?
There's two of them. It's also a rare of a rare.
Okay, I may have killed the other one then.
Yeah.
Do you have the Drake?
Did it drop a mount?
Not that I remember.
You got the regular rare.
Well, okay, so let me clarify. He's actually not something you kill. He's green, he's friendly, you jump on his back, and you kill the whelps that he spawns to, kill him or something, and then when he drops down, you loot him and get the mount. So you
definitely didn't kill him.
Yeah.
You would probably remember if you killed him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I must have done the other one.
WoW Challenges Stone of the WoW Challenges podcast. He said, level alts. No, that was actually your friend Theory who said level alts.
I have run out of alts.
Yeah.
to level. Now I'm leveling alts on other servers.
You could always level alts on servers where they're merged, so then when you fill up those 11, you can go do another 11 on the same server.
That just sounds like punishment.
You could have 33 tunes on one guild.
And then they complained to me today, get this. They complained to me today that they don't have time for raiding because it's a waste of time. And they could be doing something more productive. And I'm
so who is they?
It's a person I used to know from my old guild on my old server who's somehow on my friends list still. He's kind of an asshole.
Okay.
42.59. I'm not even kidding. I'm going to have to do that one. Well, if that's the only one, I can probably get away with it.
But I don't understand how leveling an alt on... Okay, he's got 4 hunters that are level 100 and 2 monks and 2 chamois and 2 shadow priests and I don't understand it.
I have 2 rep paladins and 2 combat rogues.
Yep, but they're not on the same merged server.
Fair enough. And technically, one of them got boosted to 90, and the other got boosted to 100.
Don't complain that raiding is a waste of time, and you could be doing something more productive with your life.
I could be spending all my time in my garret. Wait, outside of raid, that's where I do.
Sorry, I'm not very sympathetic today.
Yeah, on 11.
11 what?
I've got 1100s.
I have 5, and 3 of them are boosted. No, 2 of them are boosted.
I've only used the free boosts because I did pre-order Legion finally.
Well,
the regular version because I will get the whatever Blizzard balance thing whenever I buy the box.
I've never paid for a level 100 boost, but I did boost 1 to 90 and then leveled it from there.
Yeah. So yeah, there's still tons of stuff to do if you're willing to go and do it.
Yep, for sure.
Anax. But when you wait there for Anax, what you want to do is invite Scarlet to a party and then let me have Anax.
Whatever. If you do that, she's going to win the roll. It'll happen in 5 minutes. That's what happens when she goes after a mount. Just saying. You're setting yourself up for disappointment.
And
well, no, that's my point. They should just sit there and farm it for me, but then I get to just have them out.
And to do that, what you want to do is message her on Twitter at DRA. No. If you
you don't get any drops now because you're not actually playing the alpha.
I agree.
That's why you don't get drops.
I haven't had time. I've been gearing up my freaking other rep pally. I've been gearing up my Destro Warlock.
Roland R from chat has 6 pallies, 4 druids, 3 priests.
Oh yeah? Talk to Mega Code. He used to have 11 holy paladins.
You know, I like Death Knights, but then there comes a time when you're like, wow, this is the same old stuff over again.
Well, level Unholy and level
Well,
Frost.
once they made it so that you could go multiple raids on the same character without being locked out, having multiple of the same one on the same server is pretty much not really
Wow,
necessary
Challenges
anymore.
just followed me on Twitter. Yay! I
You
followed
don't know
that,
what you got yourself into.
Oh my.
apparently.
She uses Twitter all the time. She gets so annoying sometimes.
I was taking WoW in-game naked selfies and twittering them like last raid night.
I'm glad you made sure to say in-game, because that would get you in trouble with a lot of people otherwise.
That's why I said that first, because no, that would not happen.
So
But-
if it's a in-game or not naked selfie, is it a tweet or a Twitter or is it a twatter? I'm not sure of the terminology there.
Well, considering it was, the selfie cam, so it was up here, it's
Okay.
a Twitter pic.
So Draven just wrote the time down so he can edit that later.
Just in case. I don't know. I'll have to look that one up. I gotta look that one up.
I
Okay.
was bored and everybody kept DCing, so I was playing with all the fun things that we have in game now.
So there's plenty to do if you want to do.
There's
things,
lots
is
to do.
The answer.
In my case, I make jokes about if I'm not raiding, I'm only in my garrison. I'm farming Oldor now because I decided I'm only doing one place at a time, with the exception of Mogushan Vaults because I want the Elegon mount. I will still go do that on a couple characters.
Wait, you can solo MSV now?
Yeah.
I've been doing it for months.
What?
Yeah.
I've only been doing 10-man normal.
But the mount doesn't drop in
Yes, it
normal.
does.
It's only heroic.
Mount drops any difficulty.
When did they fix that?
Week 1 of Mont.
No.
It's been any difficulty since it started.
So I thought of another thing, though,
Okay.
that I think I'm going to do. You know the field photographer title?
Yep.
You should get the weirdest selfies when you do that.
I started doing it when it first started, but it wouldn't give me credit for places, so I said screw this and left and haven't looked back.
You probably have to be in the instance part.
They were if they were in an instance, but it was like out in the world stuff. I wasn't getting credit. Like I'm not kidding. I got so frustrated. I looked up and they had coordinates. I was standing in the right spot. I should have gotten credit, and it wasn't giving me credit. So I said, nope, done, screw this, don't care. And I'm in
Your
achievement.
game is glitched.
Wouldn't be the first time. But yeah. Lots of stuff to do. I know in terms of gold making, 25 heroic fire lens is really, really nice.
You know,
For-
I do that.
Let's see, Helen's in chat, so another 20 minutes or so.
Yeah. Yeah.
However long it takes for the update.
Even though I have both of those mounts, I still do that one because that trash, I love that trash. It makes you so much gold.
Yeah.
And I do it on all my tunes.
Yeah, I used to, and then I was like, why am I wasting my time? It's nice gold. I'm not hurting for gold at the moment, so thank you, 11
You could
level
always
3 garrisons.
donate to the
I-
pet fund.
I could. I could also donate to the Make Scarlet run something else instead of a Death Knight tank to raid and see how she does then.
Well, I would bring my monk. It's 685. It's getting there.
Scarlet, I just had an idea for you. You should start a character that is specifically just for pet battles and make it be a bank alt and call it Scarlet's Pet Rescue above your head. And you could stand in Stormwind or wherever and collect donations and have all your pets out
The problem, if she's doing that for pet battles, you named it Pet Rescue, not Pit Fighter.
Well, you got to have a cover.
Yeah.
That's how she gets the gold. And she's rescuing them.
The animals.
And then behind the scenes,
to fight
letting them fight.
in my fighting.
Unrelated. Thank you, Howland.
Good.
Firelands. Howland does Firelands every week. It's not getting nerfed.
I am totally going to
until he gets his Firehawk or whatever it's called.
Yeah. And until the gold is nerfed next expansion, because that's when it will be due. Anyway.
So,
yes, go ahead.
Go ahead.
I'm assuming you were saying, let's move on.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I've been trying to say that, and Scarlett's like, oh, here's something else.
Because it's fun.
Do stuff. There's lots of stuff in game. That's what we're saying. So, we've actually got some Blizzard news for, like, the company, not the weather. So, let's go ahead and hit some of that real quick.
This is the Blizzard news you can use.
So, you know that cheesy intro that we did earlier, Theory?
Huh?
For the show tonight? The goofy...
Oh.
You getting those? You getting them?
Yeah.
You getting them?
Yeah, okay.
That's our Blizzard news. The Warcraft movie has some toys. This in particular will be labeled horribly because Lothar is the one on the right and Blackhand's the one on the left. So they're just completely wrong there. But other than that, Warcraft movie toys. We don't have a picture available, or I didn't get one in time for Garona, but she's got a toy also, so they are not following in Star Wars' footsteps of no female toys. But I really, really don't want to be negative about this, but I don't think they look good.
Yeah, they look a little cheesy, but
They look cheap.
2 characters with 2 mounts for $25, which is what it costs through Toys R Us. They probably should be kind of cheap.
Yeah.
Because if it was going to be like full-size characters, it'd probably be somewhere $15 to $20 each.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that this is just the beginning, and there will be nicer stuff.
I would have rather them not do the cheap ones at all, and just put some, not necessarily like Sideshow, if you know what that is. They do like the high quality stuff.
Yeah.
Not necessarily that. That'd be cool too. I won't buy that, but that's not the point. But some decent ones, not the cheap.
Yeah, I mean, they could do McFarlane. They could do, like the ones I've got back there. They could do all kinds of really cool stuff if they wanted to, and they've partnered up with a lot of people. But to be perfectly honest, the thing that surprises me most about this is the timing.
Yeah, it seems a little early.
Now?
Yeah, they're out. They're not in stores yet. They're
you can order it right through Toys R Us right now.
Yeah.
I would love a life-size Doomhammer and Frostmourne.
Well, you can buy those now, but they're very expensive.
Well, yes. That is why I was saying we should have that Rat Pally on the show. Because he bought, maybe I shouldn't say this because it's his news, but whatever, I'm excited for him. He bought a replica sword of what Lothar used in the movie. Cost him like a lot of hundreds. Yeah, 300 and something dollars.
For the Lothar sword from the movie.
Yeah, but it's
I don't know the name of it.
It's like gonna be there by the time he gets like to see the movie, so that's cool.
By the way, don't take it to see the movie.
Yeah,
it would be really funny.
Doomhammer Don't bring your sword.
Doomhammer.
Bring any of that.
You could probably get away with a Doomhammer.
I don't think you could.
If
I'm pretty sure
if
they
it
would
looked
tell you to turn
If
around.
it was plastic,
if it looks like cheap plastic, you could get away with that. A sword
Well,
of
yeah.
any kind, I don't care if it's plastic or not. Having worked in a movie theater before, we will tell you to go away.
Yep.
But yeah,
so
Go put
ahead.
that in your car.
the
or
people
go away.
who have like roleplay gear on and stuff, they would tell them to not have their stuff out.
they would know not to bring actual halfway decent replica stuff in. Because they know the rules of these places. Same as me. I would not go to Final Fantasy movie with the Sephiroth sword. I'm not taking that with me. I
What
don't.
about that story you told us once?
I didn't take that anywhere. That was out in a parking lot. Which is another reason why I wouldn't take it with me. And besides that, if I took it like into a heavily public area, I could get into legal trouble.
Yeah, you could.
Because while I can't actually conceal it, I kind of would need a conceal and carry for it.
Is that a sword in your pants, or
That sword doesn't fit
Or
in my
that's a
pants
sword.
either. Yeah, that sword doesn't fit in my pants either.
either?
Hello. Anyway, yeah, that's the Blizzard news. What do you think about these things, Scarlett? You haven't really chimed in on it.
Well, so the toys though aren't done by Blizzard. It's by
Yeah.
Legendary producing Blizzard merch. So they're not.
No,
You know, Blizzard uses some. Like, I don't think they're going to use the same manufacturer, so I do understand why they're a little bit cheaper in quality, and it's the ones at Toys R Us and stuff is, you know, it's not like they're collectors exactly. They're just for, it's probably like to complement the Lego sets and whatnot that'll be coming out.
I think you underestimate Toys R Us. Like, there
Maybe.
is a.
I haven't been in there since.
Oh, they
I
got
don't even
lots
think
of
ever.
cheesy, cheap crap that's
Yeah.
made for kids to destroy. But almost every Star Wars figure collector / any kind of toy collector, the one place they can actually go still that's open, unless you live in like New York, is Toys R Us. Like most of the other places that used to carry stuff like that, like even some of the nice movie
You guys
stores
don't
that had
have
stuff like that.
comic book shops down there?
Not in great supply, and the ones that we have are usually run locally, so they don't have a large area for stuff like that. When they do, it's only a few here and there. And to be perfectly honest, I couldn't even tell you where one is where I live. I know there's a couple of them, but I don't know where they're at because I've never been there.
I have to take almost a 2-hour drive to get to a comic book shop.
You guys are missing out. My
I
friend
have-
used to run one.
I have a 45-minute drive to go to a bookstore.
You poor, poor, poor man.
On so
That's
many
sad.
levels.
Bookstores should be everywhere.
I completely agree. The area I'm in, I question whether or not most of the people know how to read.
Well, it's not like this city is populated with a lot of literary people either.
I'm not making a joke. I really am questioning whether or not a lot of the people here know how to read.
You don't live in like the hillbilly mountains. You live like not that far away from here.
While I'm not in the hillbilly mountains, I'm in an area that is not known for smart people.
Wow.
Speaking of that, I have been invited to go to a thing called Hillbilly Days. I really want to go.
You just got done making fun of hillbillies, and now you're saying, I want to go to this
love
hillbilly thing.
Hillbillies. I would totally sort of fit in there. Except for the whole marrying your cousin thing, because that's gross.
All right, so since we've already diverted the tracks, I'm going to bring it a little
Oh,
further.
good
here.
lord.
So, have both of you guys seen the movie Idiocracy?
That was supposed to be a comedy work of fiction, not a guide to how the world should work.
It's pretty much becoming true, right? So
I know.
I was noticing the other day, like everybody's doing these emojis and talking with emojis and everything else, and I'm thinking to myself, in the hospital scene in Idiocracy, that's all they had, and the keyboard was emojis. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's another part of it's coming true, and it just kind of hit me that that's really what's happening. People are starting to talk with pictures. We're reverting. Sorry.
No,
Sidetrack.
that's completely fine. My brain hurts at thinking that movie is happening. I'm just hoping I am dead before it gets to that point.
I'm just waiting for my shiny shirt with all the different brands all over it. I'm ready. I'm going to pull it out of the little plastic baggie and put it on and rep Kellogg's and every brand that they have or whatever.
I can see that happening in the next 2 years. All right.
Okay, back on the tracks.
Yes, back on track. That was pretty much the Blizzard news was, yay, the movie toys are coming out. And we already hit up a little bit of WoW, but we got a couple other things in WoW, namely Scarlet has a nice fun story for us. So let's go ahead and talk about some actual World of Warcraft stuff.
World of Warcraft.
So, to preface this, since I mentioned Scarlet had a nice fun story, Cataclysm Timewalking Week. 27th through February 1st. So you've got another couple days left to do these. Any boss can drop the Reigns of the Infinite Time Reaver. That's the cool Infinite Dragonflight guy. And you get the badges, you get the stuff. All the badges will go towards if you want one of the other mounts or toys, or if you're really desperate for gear, I guess you could spend it on gear. If you're not willing to go to Taman.
You get a Giblin
Yes.
outfit, which is a
It's a
goblin
toy.
Murloc Naga thing. He's adorable.
It looks like a drowned goblin.
He's adorable, but he doesn't dance, so that's sad.
Well, if he's dead because he drowned, he wouldn't be able to dance. So that makes sense.
He's not dead.
We have undead that know
So he
that
was
can
a
dance.
just drowned goblin.
Yeah.
But they've been raised.
But you're running around as him, so it's kind of not dead-ish. I just said he looks like a dead goblin, like he's turned blue, like a drowned goblin. Yeah, he's turned blue.
Goblins
So-
can be bluish green thing.
Before Scarlet takes her story and brings it there, I want to point something out that I noticed during the last time walking, which is kind of selfish. The tank queue for time walking, you get 50 extra time walking badges. So you're kind of encouraged not to queue with your buddies because you get more time walking badges by yourself. So if you're trying to collect for the mounts, you don't tell anybody you're running them.
I agree with that. Last time walking, I was like, oh, I only need one more. And someone was like, oh, I'll join you. And then I was like, oh, I still need one more. Oh, I still need another one. Oh, I need... So we ran 4 when I needed 1. And then I was like,
Yeah.
Okay, whatever.
It's not always the tank. It's whenever the call to arms thing. That's the call to arms.
So it's
almost
always for the tank.
Almost always tank and or healer. Yeah.
It definitely will make people want to solo queue as a tank, but I'm not sure this is really what they wanted to happen. But now I have the mount, so I don't have to do that anymore.
Wait, you got the Infinite Time Reaver?
No. I got the other mount. The
okay.
Infinite Time Reaver is a random drop.
Yeah.
So that's just going to happen whenever. But I got the one that I was saving up for, which was the I don't even know what it's called, but it's the horse that looks like it's from ICC. Which is
the exhaust tailpipe tail.
It It's a spectral horse. The metal is
Yeah.
keeping the magic in. I don't think it's an exhaust pipe. I don't
It's
know.
an
That was very
exhaust
nerdy.
pipe.
It looks like it, but yeah. I may or may not have logged into my DK on one of my days off work and been like, Q, 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 Q. Done? Cool. Next.
So
Didn't say a word.
I know why the tank bag is always up. Because tanks will rage quit. Or
Really,
rage
Scarlet?
face and really make everybody very not happy in the dungeon.
It sounds like you have something to say about that.
Yes, I do, Mr. Hunter with Barrage in Stone Core. And then I say, can you not pull the mobs so we don't die? And he goes, don't tell me how to play my class. And then he pulled all the freaking fire things by the third boss. And then we kicked him. And then the next hunter did the same thing. And then the next dungeon I poured it into was already in progress. And it was Jaina. And she was already up. I don't heal, I just tank, Roland. So I can't heal. I'm the tank. So Jaina is up. So I'm like, cool. I type in chat, remember to step on the flare cores. I pull Jaina. Then I realize she just did her mage blink into the trash mobs. And we pulled all the trash. Because the previous time, they didn't clear the trash. So, I'm killing the trash, and then I realize our two other warriors are still hitting Jaina. And then we all die because the flare cores exploded because the healer and the one DPS that we had didn't step on them. So I get back in, and I'm like, why didn't you guys tell me the trash was still up? Well, we thought you had eyes and could see that the trash was still up. Okay, let's clear the trash. So we cleared the trash, and then I'm like, remember, the flare cores explode and AoE us, so step on them and they will only hurt you a little bit. Goes by the mage. The mage does nothing. It explodes. We all are at half health. There's another one. So I run to go get it. I die because then I ran out of range of the healer, which is my fault, but then, I mean, you know, what should I do? Let us all die? Which we did. So then the third time, I'm like, step on the flare cores. They still never did it. Then we get to Murazond, whatever his name is. Murazond. And I'm like, you know, click the hourglass, do time warp, blah, blah, blah. Mage didn't time warp once, and I, as a tank, pulled the boss over to the hourglass so I could click it every time, because the range and the healer just stood there doing nothing. And then, because I started where he starts, every time I clicked it, I have to go run all the way back. So yeah, I was not happy that day that all happened in the same dungeon rows. And then yes, Cuddles, I queued with Cuddles and, oh my goodness, why am I not remembering her name? Please help me with the name. You know, she hosts the podcast with Cuddles. Salmisis, yes. She is so funny. So we go in and the healer's like, yeah, pretty much. I'm awesome. Pull everything. Oh, look, you're not pulling enough, so I'm going to go pull it for you. He actually was pretty good, but still, that ticked me off. He was, like, actually, like, gemmed in, like, kata gear with, like, he was like 480 something with like epic catagems and, you know, whatever, geared out for time walking. But still, it annoyed me.
So
Yes.
for chat room and people listening, while it was just Scarlet there on screen, I'm sitting back busting up laughing because I only heard one of these stories. And I'm just like trying not to interrupt her. And I'm just like,
So
oh.
here's my thought. Being that you know the mechanics of these dungeons, and I would say a pretty large majority of the people who are running them now don't. You as the tank have to do the mechanics for them. So when I do Jaina, I step on the stone cores. I don't wait for somebody else to do it. I do it every single time. When I'm doing Mirazad, I do position him close to the hourglass in case I need to click it. And it's not, those are only two examples. Like every mechanic that I know we have to do, I either will make sure that I'll survive when everybody else dies, or I will do the mechanic. Because most of these people have never even seen these dungeons before.
But you know what? That's so, like, it shouldn't be that way. It shouldn't be one person doing all the mechanics. It should be everybody needs to learn because, hey, back when that was relevant, we all had to learn or we got booted. And that's how I learned to be a tank, because I had people yelling at me in end time dungeons because I was learning how to tank because I didn't know what a tank was and I didn't know what tank gear was. I'm like, is this tank gear? Is this DPS gear? I don't know. I can't tell. So, you know, you learn the hard way, but people still need to learn because I like those kind of dungeons. I like the hardness.
I don't
but I hate
teach
stupidity.
people. I don't teach people
I'm not
how
making
to
my
play
comment right now.
on my dime.
Shut up, Draven.
And if I'm running a queued instance, it's on my dime if I'm tanking. So I'm not teaching somebody how to play. I'm getting through it as fast as possible so that I can either pop into the next queue or move on to the next thing. It's different when we're in a raid group or we're in a group of people that we actually raid with. Then, yeah, of course, you explain it and let people understand how it works. But when you're a random group of people, I'm just trying to get through it. I'm not trying to show somebody how to actually do the instance, especially if they're going to kill themselves. Like, that just means there's a higher chance we're going to wipe, which means I'm going to be there longer. No way.
But that's my point. Like, if they actually did the stuff, then we're not going to wipe because they didn't do the stuff.
Well, true, but you can't depend on them to do the stuff. So just do the stuff yourself, and you don't have to worry about it.
But you can't always do it all.
So I have a fun story. I took my tank, as I mentioned, I queued nonstop. And I got Stone Core also. And I told this story in Raid last night.
Sorry, I'm laughing at chat.
Yeah. And it was, I don't know, there was a melee DPS. I was on my Death Knight tanking. And we're getting to Osrock. And I pull, you know, I know how much I can pull. They're, you know, all that fun stuff. We get to the boss, no problem. Everything that can go wrong for the pull there is going to be on the boss itself and not on ads getting pulled. I'm like, does everybody know this fight? No one said anything. I was like, silence means yes. I go in. So I, you know, make sure the boss is faced the other way. I do everything I'm supposed to. I get out of the way of the smash. I get out of the big, the AoE that one-shots everybody that's in it. The melee DPS didn't. So it's just me and just the range DPS and the healer, and that's it. We kill the boss. Everyone, it was just one melee DPS. The entire group. This was the best thing I've ever seen. All at the same time, everybody, including myself. Welcome to Kata Heroics, smiley face. And then we rezzed him. And he was like, what happened? I was like, you stood in it. I do it all the time in current heroic. Yeah, these aren't them.
I really want dungeons to be like deathly afraid of them. Like, you know how Zul'Farrak and Zulaman and not Zul'Farrak, Zulaman and Zul'Grub, you were just like, oh my god, let's hope we have a good healer and they know what they're doing. I want that to be back again.
I wouldn't be opposed to 1 or 2 dungeons like that, but if all of them are like that, no thanks. I have no problem,
But
like, personally.
Other games aren't forgiving if you stand in stuff either.
Okay, what? You didn't let me finish. I personally have no problem with that. I don't mind them being hard. From a hugging something perspective, no, I don't want that. I know what a lot of players are like. They are gonna, something will go wrong. Either the tank will be blamed because the healer stood in something, or the DPS stood in something. Hunters will barrage everything they can, pull everything because Hunter.
Barrage needs to be just taken out of the spell book.
I mean,
and
just as
thrown down the toilet.
Just as an example, but you have all these things that will go wrong because anyone has access to them early on, and that's why Cata did so horrible at the beginning. They had to nerf stuff because people who were pugging couldn't get through them.
Healing Cata dungeons in the beginning was horrible.
You were doing
That's how I learned, though.
Okay, but you were the healers were doing 1 trash pack, sit down, drink, because they were Even if the group, unless the group was overpowered to the point where, you know, as long as nobody stood in anything at all, you might be able to get 2 trash packs. But it was still, you had
playing my priest because of how awful it was.
Yeah, you couldn't. That's why one of the reasons that it took so long. Which reminds me, I did Sylvanas in Timewalking. She was the boss that I got. The entire group died but me.
But you can run back on that one.
You can run back.
Yes.
They ran back at a minimum 7 times each.
I like the Bane one where everybody's just like, whoa.
We got Bane Sylvanas.
I love Bane. Bane is awesome. And
I was just because they would the thing that got them all. We didn't even get to the enclosing ads enclosing in on her. They all died like the arrows that she shoots. Yeah, fire on the ground basically. And then
which is easy to step out of.
Exactly. Which is why I don't want those hard dungeons for every single dungeon. I'm fine with 1 or 2 having some hard stuff in it. That's not a problem. I don't want nonstop, oh my god, we're all going to die.
So here's the thing. How do you... And God bless him if he ever listens to this podcast. I'm sorry, but like my coworker who is really new to the game and just thinks that they're so pro, but they have so much to learn. he's so
for the audio listeners, one of our regulars in chat, Cuddles, made a joke at my expense. We're going to leave it at that. If you want to know what it is, watch the video, show up live.
Oh, that was good.
He thinks he's really good, and he's really got so much to learn. But, like, everybody's gonna be like that soon if they don't make the dungeons hard, and then imagine how bad everything is gonna be.
Okay, so here's the answer to that. The hard dungeon is the mythic dungeon that you have to bring your own group to, that you can't queue into, and you have to actually go to and summon someone to. That's the hard dungeon. That's where those people need to learn the right mechanics and do everything correct, and you get better rewards for it. The stuff that you can queue with somebody who has a crappy minimum eye level, who has really no way to prove that they know how to play the game, needs to be easy enough that a couple of people who know what they're doing can get through it.
But mythics, noobs do mythics and get through them? My coworker does them.
Because basically they're getting carried by the group that they're with. And yes, but in that case, they have 3 or 4
even
geared
killed
out people.
heroic
bringing them.
Archimond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
The thing
he
is,
didn't know the DPS ring had to be in melee.
Well, to be perfectly honest, there's a lot of range people who don't know that the ring needs to be in melee either.
Yeah.
So that's not really common knowledge for people who are raiding on a regular basis.
honestly, what we need is not what we have right now. They're too easy. Kata was too hard in general for the mass population. They can't add another level of difficulty because you're going to have the LFR dungeon, you're going to have the regular dungeon, the heroic dungeon, and the mythic dungeon. No, we don't need all that because that's just more gearing we don't need. What they need to do, in my opinion, is basically what Theory said. Here's 8 new dungeons. Those 2 mechanics one-shot you. End of story. They are not in queue rotation. You have to be in a group for them. If you try to queue for them, you have to have completed them before. That's the only way to queue for them. I can't think of anything else, and I don't know that that would even work.
That wouldn't work because you could just get your friends to carry you.
But you would at least know the fights at least, even if you were dead through them. If you've completed them, then you can queue for them. I would be mostly okay with that. But and it's not account wide per tune.
But that's what challenge proving grounds are.
Yeah, but the time walkings, you don't have to have done proving ground.
No.
You don't even have to be max level for time walking. So that's another reason why they need to be a little easier.
Yeah, you have to be that level or higher.
To be perfectly honest, I think the time walking should be the easiest of the dungeons, and the regular dungeons could be a little bit harder.
Yeah.
And then the mythics need to be the ones that are really difficult. And the mythics need to reward good gear and be a little bit less sporadic about how good the gear is, so that you get 5 pieces of 685, which is pretty much garbage for a mythically geared group, and then 1 715 that can't actually go to anybody in the group because it's for a shaman and you don't have a shaman in your group, for example, or something like that, or it's male and you have no male in your group. There's lots of things that they can improve to actually make it worth it to run a harder dungeon, like right now, Valor, including making the gear actually work for the group that's there. But I think that that's where the harder difficulty needs to be, and the rewards need to match it. But when you don't have proving grounds or anything else to prove that you know what the hell you're doing, that needs to be relatively easy.
Yeah. I mean, I would love it if they were more difficult, as long as I was always guaranteed a group of people I knew were running them. If I have to pug even one, no, I don't want them difficult. I want them to be a walk in the park so I can get in, get out, and not see. I mean, if it's a good group, I'll run all 5 time walkings or whatever mythics with the same group. If we have a hunter who's pulling the entire stone core at the same time, I am going to want to reach through my computer and strangle him.
That is my favorite dungeon.
I do like Stonecore as well, but let me interject just for a second, because you guys both bashed on hunters real quick. Do either one of you have a relatively high level hunter?
Max level.
Nope.
Okay. On your high level hunter, Draven, how often do you use Barrage?
Whenever my rotation helper, yes, I have one on my hunter, tells me to.
Okay.
If I am far enough away that I know it will not pull everything else.
That's the trick. That's the part that they don't know. Barrage is one of the hardest hitting hunter abilities they have, and especially in AoE situations. So as much as I have yelled at some hunters for overpulling some crap, if you haven't played one and used it, you can't really understand why all the hunters use barrage, and it's because it's the best talent for them to use. They need to learn to stay back and not pull extra groups and not accidentally target something over to the left and pull a group that you weren't even going to pull to begin with, because that happens all the time. But I don't blame hunters for wanting to use barrage, because they're just like everybody else. They're trying to get better numbers. And I think sometimes we're a little hard on them because they're not always the ones that pull.
No,
it's just easy to tell when they do.
that's the only reason I even mentioned whenever I said it, Hunter, was because it's very apparent when Barrage pulls everything that Barrage pulled everything. So
yeah, the hail of bullets makes it completely obvious.
Yeah.
You know, if mages had like Blizzard that pulled everything, it would be those freaking mages.
Well,
Druids with Starfall.
But we do say though that's Starfall.
Yeah. But
there's more people playing hunters than there are the other classes that can accidentally pull. Like, you don't see, like, if you're doing a random dungeon, probably 8 out of 10 times you're going to get a hunter over a boomkin.
Yeah.
That's probably true. They're much more popular right now, but a lot of that has to do with the ease of the class and the ease of getting good numbers.
Yeah.
Not that they are the easiest class to master, because they're not, but they're the easiest class to do decent with.
Yeah. And as Howland in chat said, if you pull an extra pack once or twice, maybe a mistake. If it's every pull, then you're just bad.
That is 100% true.
I paraphrased you, Howland. I'm sorry. Please don't nerf my class.
Nerf paladins.
Right after you nerf DKs to the ground. Because that's where they came from.
Nerfed. We have no buffs.
Aww.
But
you have a battle res. Shush.
It's going to be taken away. But we get to do more damage in Legion. Although I may switch to my Monk and learn how to play that.
I thought you were switching to your Demon
I
Hunter.
may also be a Demon Hunter.
I'm still debating whether or not I'm leveling my Death Knight or whenever I get it, the Demon Hunter as my main tank. I won't figure that out yet.
There's going to be so many Demon Hunters.
I know.
That's the only reason why I don't want to play one.
It's not going to be my... I'm going...
So sexy.
Paladin, then my Mage, and then will be my DK or my Demon Hunter.
So the next time that we have extra time on the show, because there's no news from Blizzard, we may discuss some Demon Hunter stuff in detail, because I definitely have some hot button things as far as Demon Hunters and how easy they are that I think we should talk about.
Okay. We've been rambling about this one topic for WoW for a while. That's really all the WoW stuff there is outside of, yay, we killed Archimond again. Or yay, or boo, we didn't.
All right, so let's go.
Yeah. Yep. So, that means we're going to run along and hit some Hearthstone. Alright, so you know that lack of WoW news? Where we had that one topic? We're not going to spend that much time on the one topic for Hearthstone.
Why not?
Because it's Tavern Brawl. We get a new one every week. It's a cool one. Sort of. Miniature Warfare. Every single minion is a 1/1, costing 1, but they keep all their battle cries, all their death rattles, all that fun stuff. You stay. You build your own deck, that kind of thing. Scarlet, I will say this to you. Hobgoblin is incredibly overpowered.
Hobgoblin Priest with Mookla's champion is freaking awesome.
I cheated. I've only played a few, but every single time I don't know if the decks are just weird, like they're giving me the exact cards I want at the beginning. Hobgoblin, Kel'Thuzad. People leave.
Oh, I never thought of putting Kel'Thuzad in there. I put 2
Yeah, he's a 5/5 at that point because you get both. Because when he's summoned, he's 1/1.
I put 2.
Knife juggler.
No. Whatever the priest card is, where you steal the 2 attack minion or less.
Oh, okay.
And I stole. I've stolen quite a few things, but I got beat by a warlock who had Ragnaros into Faceless Manipulator into Faceless Manipulator.
He turned a Faceless Manipulator into itself?
No, he Ragnaros, then he copied Ragnaros, then he copied Ragnaros again, and I got hit for 21 damage in 1 turn.
Okay, fair enough.
I think flexible rating will come. Going back to WoW.
No.
Not at mythic level.
No. I know we're in the Hearthstone section, but touch WoW real quick for tradition's sake. Mythic rating flexible will not happen for the simple reason that they have to tune that so tightly for 20 people. If you make it flexible, you take away the possibility of some mechanics, because if you flex it down low enough, you might not have that class to deal with that one mechanic. At 20, you can pretty much guarantee you should have, maybe not a rogue, but you should have something.
Or rogues.
But yeah, Mythic, no, it's gonna. If they keep doing Mythic, it's gonna stay as solid.
Well, they already gave Cross Realm Mythic out, so if you don't have enough people, just use the LFR tool or LFG tool, whatever it's called, and get a couple people from another server, and you're fine. So that problem's kind of already been fixed.
Yeah. So anyway, back to Hearthstone. Theory. Did you play?
No, I was getting ready to right before the show started, but it was too loud, so I shut it off.
I will Tavern Brawl you after the game. I mean, after the podcast.
I don't think I want to do that after your explanation of what just happened. I'm going to get my ass kicked. I'd rather face some other schlum like me that is easy to beat.
Everybody is playing a freaking mage, and it is annoying.
Well, because you have the one hit, easy.
But I got beat by another priest. He went Malygos, Velen, Mind Blast, Akanai Soul Priest, 5 heal something, and I'd went from 30 to 0. So that hurt.
You might have wanted to take out some of the minions ahead of time.
No, he put it all down in 1 turn.
So here's my question for you. Because I haven't played this one yet. I've read about it.
It's different.
So, since everything's 1/1, say you get to turn 8, somehow you're turn 8, and you play 7 Murlocs, and then the Murloc that's buffed by all the other Murlocs, does it now hit for 10 or whatever?
It will hit for... It starts off as a 1/1, and then if every other Murloc gives it +1 attack, it'll have officially 8, because you have 7 other Murlocs.
So that sounds like the best thing to do to me. Then I'm going to roll a Murloc deck to try to get my 1 win.
If you have the hobgoblins, you get those in.
You get the deck free, win or lose.
Oh really?
Oh, do you?
I lost my first match.
Oh, interesting.
I went Paladin, and I put the card that gives all your token dudes +2/+2 on a battle cry. Because everything's going to hit me for 1. Guess what? It's going to take you 3 of them to hit me.
Well, in the Murloc deck, you also have the Murlocs that buff all the other Murlocs with extra damage and everything. So if you can play 7 1/1 Murlocs, half of those are going to hit for 4.
Yep.
Yeah.
So they would buff really quick, but the problem would be getting to turn 6 or 7 to do it.
Yeah. So there's a lot of decks out there that are decent. My Paladin deck is not any way optimal, but it's fun.
The priest one was pretty fun.
Yeah. I mean, you could play a regular deck and it'd be fine. It's just a matter of do you have the cards you need at the time. So, I think that's going to be it for Hearthstone, because, let's face it, A, we're running really long already, and that's really all there was.
I just have one other thing.
You couldn't have said something before I said that?
I was waiting for you to stop first.
So, we're going to go ahead and move on.
No, it's a very small thing, and it's kind of corny, and now I kind of don't want to do it because it's really corny.
Now you have to.
Yes, so, you know, at least I got chicken. Leroy. Anyways, that's enough. I'm done.
Okay, moving on.
Mm-hmm. What can I say?
I had to. It's been sitting in my head for like the last half hour, and I had to say it because why not?
See, now you make me wish I had the troll thing for you that you wouldn't have been able to hear, but would have been really funny for chat room.
What troll thing?
I think I'm going to have it set up for next week, and I'm not going to tell you anything else. Because I think I'm going to need it next week.
I'm not going to be here next week. I'm going to be getting drunk.
Week after.
So,
yeah, Scarlett won't be here next week. We do already have our special co-host.
Depending on what happens, I may be in chat room. I may not be in chat room. We shall see.
Yeah, we already have
I'm drunk, so yeah.
We have our co-host already lined up. I'll let you guys know who that is at the end of the show.
You are a huge nerd.
There's that.
Yes, I am.
I don't think he meant that in a good way. Anyway.
Shut up.
We need to do a little bit of Heroes talk, so let's do that real quick. I don't care if you don't want to, I'm going to.
Heroes of the Storm.
Yay. So, as usual, what we normally do, we'll go over, some of the big news. I will, once I get my tax return, getting a good video card. End of story. I have alpha, you don't, shush.
But you don't play it.
I do a little bit. I can play Overwatch once I get my card too. Who's laughing now?
I still have my fingers crossed that the wave for Overwatch will include people who pre-ordered.
Oh!
Nope. You're not allowed. Yeah, you're not allowed. So, as we normally do, free this week, Gazlo, Kerrigan, Leoric, Muradin, Raynor, Uther. Sonya, if you're player level 5, Sylvanas 7, Lieutenant Morales 12, and Illidan at 15. On sale! Thrall. And Thrall. And a Johanneskin. You can tell I'm overly excited about these sales this week. Because I own all of them already.
So they need to have and I'm not going to tell you why so that I don't have any spoilers, but there needs to be a Thrall without a Doomhammer, like a special skin where he's not using a Doomhammer, like give him a sword or something. That needs to happen.
Just barehand it.
It could be when he escapes from Durnhold and he grabs the sword and the shield from out of the thing.
Old
Or
school
it could
throwing.
be in the future, and he could just use his fists and not need a weapon anymore.
Well,
Because he's Green Rocky. He's not Green Jesus anymore. He's Green Rocky, and he's just
I
like,
love it. Get him some like boxer shorts with stripes with the
Yes.
flag on it. Yep, hit them with it.
they have some ideas for some interesting skins that I've seen. Space Lordly Orc was weird.
Yeah, that one did look kind of odd.
But, I mean, it looked cool. It was just weird. The big news for Heroes, though, which is the main reason we're outside of the free and sale. And see, there's that. Heroes of the Dorm! It's coming back! Now, the first time it was out, while nerds like us loved it, or me, it got put on ESPN3, they got bumped up to ESPN2 for like the finals, that kind of thing. It didn't do too well in the ratings. So I'm actually kind of surprised they're putting it on ESPN2 again.
So, I'm wondering what you mean by didn't do too well in the ratings. 'Cause we are talking ESPN2.
It even on ESPN2's like, let's downgrade from ESPN1. Just the number of people watching weren't that many.
I don't think the number of people watching ESPN2 on a regular basis is that large of a number anyway.
That's okay, but still, it just didn't have a whole lot of viewers watching. Is what I'm saying. It didn't do as well as we had hoped. It was a lot of people like me, basically, like, "Oh my god, it's on TV! Yay!" And I was actually liking the matches too because I was watching them.
But correct me if I'm wrong. They did change the format this time, didn't they?
They are changing the format. I think it's only the final 4 will be televised instead of like the last 8. So less.
Well,
time.
I have a question.
Yes.
How many people who would watch the esports as a whole actually pay for cable still and own that channel?
Well, depending upon
Because-
how ESPN have it set up, you could still stream it through ESPN 360.
So, is that a paid or a free service?
Depends on what it is.
Because it's a paid service. Because there's a lot of people, and this is coming from someone who works in that cancellation department, who, at least here, are cutting their cable.
Mm-hmm.
So the people who like watching streams probably don't own cable. Like, I don't own cable. You might, Theory, but do you, Draven?
A few months out of the year.
And here in Canada, unless something's changed in the past few years, we don't even get ESPN2.
I'm not saying it. It just didn't have as many viewers as they had hoped for. That's all I was saying. So I was actually surprised when they said it's going to be on ESPN2 again. That being said, yay! I will definitely make sure I have cable whenever it comes out, and I will either DVR it depending on work, or I will watch it live, whichever is required. Probably both. But I'm looking forward to it. I mean, it's not going to be like BlizzCon where, I know, I'm sorry guys, I really don't mean to rub it in. I was there in the crowd live. That was like amazing. It was great. So it's not going to be
after the 6 or 7 hour wait for them to get it to work. Yeah, still.
Yeah. It took forever, and that part was annoying. But whenever it started going, that's what was great. The crowd went freaking nuts. I went crazy for Abathur first pick for that one game. For Cloud9 versus Team DK. I was like, yeah, Abathur! And then it went on, and I was like, what are they doing? And then, and then they picked Murky, and the crowd went nuts. That was really cool. That was really, really cool. So, I mean, you're going to get stuff like that, maybe not to that extent in this, but it's on TV, so you're going to get that for nerds like us. You're going to get that when your sports person makes a great play. That this is our version of that. I'm the same way with StarCraft. I don't know all the ins and outs of StarCraft at the professional level, but when I see something amazing, I know it's amazing. I don't always understand why it's amazing. So I don't see StarCraft. I mean, League of Legends honestly will probably be the next one if it happens, which they're starting to cover. ESPN is starting to cover like League of Legends, Dota 2, Hearthstone. They're actually have on their website. They've got a tracker for it.
Hearthstone is so fun to watch.
I like watching it. Don't get me wrong. It's really hard to watch for me because everything is reactionary. The excitement.
But that's why it's so good to watch. You're just like, oh my god.
The excitement is the card draw, not playing it on the board. Yeah, that's where I'm. That's all I'm going to say about it. And yeah, it's just one of those things. I would love to see more esports, League of Legends, Dota. I'm not into Dota at all. I can watch League of Legends. I won't play League of Legends, but I can watch it.
It's actually not that bad to watch, but I agree. Yeah. I refuse to play that game.
A Smite is another game I would be kind of interesting to watch. I don't know how they would manage that, but yeah, it was just one of those. I would love to see more esport type things get put on TV just for the exposure, get the prize pools up, make it more exciting, and you can talk about it in public, and people won't look at you weird like you have a mental disease.
You know what? I just ignore that and talk about it in public anyways.
Yeah, but
my coworkers, one of my coworkers today, he turned to me and he's like, "Did you know they're making a Warcraft movie? I think you might like that."
I've known about that for 2 years.
I'm like,
where you been?
Really? You don't remember when I was not paying attention to work and I had my headphones stuck in my ear because I was waiting for the trailer to come on? He's like, "Oh."
Yeah. But I mean,
get it.
I completely understand where non-gamer type people come from, because I get the exact same thing when people tell me about their favorite football team or basketball team or baseball. I just zone out because I have no interest in it whatsoever. That being said, the only people I will make fun of for liking that thing are people I know I'm only picking on them and don't actually mean it. Same with you guys. I pick on you nonstop. Believe it or not, I actually like you guys. Usually.
I don't believe that.
See? That's how good I am. But, I mean, it's just one of those things where if I was like, oh my god, this Cloud9, and they don't know like any of the ins and outs, I could mention Abathur, and they're going to be like, who's that? I could mention Illit, who's that? It's it's one of those things where, and it's the same the other way. They could mention. I mean, I know who Peyton Manning is. I couldn't pick him out of a lineup. I know his name. That's it.
I think he's the cute one.
Oh my god.
Either way, I don't. I don't know.
Thank you, Tears. You
So,
like us both.
There's
I don't know who both is. If it's them two, if you like them two, go ahead. That's fine.
I'm guessing it's not the guy on the top because he's awful. But
depends on right now. Theory's on the top of my screen, so it depends on whose screen you're talking about.
The stream. The stream. I'm at the top. Thank you for ruining the horrible joke.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah, like I said, it's just one of those things. I get I get both sides of it. Just don't make fun of people, and you're good. But yeah. I know you guys don't have anything heroes. I will eventually be getting heroes people, whether they're famous or not is another story, onto the show so I can actually talk back and forth, like, why did you pick this, that kind of thing.
You should get day 9.
So
I would love to have Day 9 on the show. I won't let you be on the show because I'll have to hold you away. Day 9, would you like to co-host one episode when Scarlet is gone? Because
that would be unfair. That would be so mean.
Or we could just take the night off and let her just talk to Day 9 all day. And it will be about a 7 or 8 hour episode, and you'll have a lot of editing you'll have to do, but we could have the day off.
Oh, look, someone's been timed out.
yeah. I try to be nice to the chat people, and I might not interact directly with them. If you get overly rude, I will ban you. I don't care.
He's timed out for 600 seconds.
Oh, no, yeah, he's timed out for 600 seconds. He can't come back either.
Oh, good. I think he's trolled us before.
Probably. No, he couldn't have, because I didn't undo any of that.
Oh,
Different name.
I don't know.
Either way, doesn't matter. Bye. And we have to edit that out.
You have a list there, huh? Can I just say some random swear words?
You can. I wouldn't recommend it. I do know how to mute you.
That would be funny.
That just makes it sound more challenging.
I know, right?
Yeah.
It's like, what was that movie where the guy was like, I bet you can say right meow 10 times or something with the cops?
I don't know.
What? Yeah, I don't know what you're talking about.
You've never seriously,
There's
my brother
that,
made
Helen.
me watch that movie, and it's this cop, and they pull this guy over, and with a straight face.
Super Troopers.
Yeah.
That's the most amazing movie pretty much ever.
Yeah, no, it was really dumb.
I haven't seen it.
It's horrible. But the right meow part was really funny.
Yeah, I mean...
Right meow?
Right meow.
Right meow?
Okay, well, at least now I know where that comes from, because I never knew. I thought it was an internet meme thing. That was it.
Meow, listen here. Meow.
There are times... I wanted to see it when it came out. I just never got around to it, and then it just kind of fell off my radar.
They're making another one or something like that.
Yeah. All right. Do we want anything else to bring up for a show, or do we want to start getting into, contact stuff and all that?
Well, you missed one big thing that happened on Saturday in my area of the country.
Oh,
yes!
that's
I read
because
your stories.
I told you to edit. I gave you edit permission for the show notes, and you never put it in.
No, of course I didn't. I don't usually edit the show notes. I just send you pictures I think we should use.
Pretty much.
But so Saturday in the Tampa area, which is about 2.5 hours north of where I'm at, there was a get-together that Cuddles pretty much coordinated at Mr. Dunderbox, which is a German restaurant in Tampa. Definitely recommend the restaurant. Food was fantastic. I couldn't pronounce most of it, but it was very, very good.
Yum.
You can see in the pictures there, Cuddles, myself, Navix was there, Belschnickel was there, which if you've ever watched Converted, both of them were, converted guys for a long time. Bunch of other really, really cool CTR people there. I made a bunch of new friends. In the top right-hand corner, you can see Cuddles' professional selfie stick, which I just thought was pretty amazing. This thing has a handle grip, and it's teal and metal, and it floats. So, dude uses this on a surfboard. I'm just saying, that's pretty epic for a selfie stick. So, yeah, it was a lot of fun. And he was in full kilt.
He wore the
He had
kilt.
the kilt
That's
on.
awesome.
It was very, very cool.
I was going to make fun of him for the selfie stick. But if he
Let me
uses it
just
on a
say-
surfboard,
Yes.
while on a surfboard, while the surfboard is on the water,
Yes, Cuddles is a big surfer.
I will be nice, and I won't make fun of him.
Does
Yes.
he have a GoPro
Horribly.
that's waterproof?
Yes, the GoPro on it, I'm pretty sure, is the waterproof one. It even had the little floaty thing on the GoPro, too, so if it got detached, it would float. But I will also tell you that selfie stick could also be used pretty well for a weapon. So you probably don't want to make fun of that selfie stick too much.
I wasn't going to make fun of the selfie stick. I was going to make fun of him for having it.
No, it was pretty amazing. And I'll tell you, it wasn't the only selfie stick there. It wasn't the only GoPro there. And one of the coolest things is both Navix and Cuddles brought their computers. Cuddles had the alpha up so people could check it out and play with it a little bit. I stayed away because I want to actually be able to experience it, in my computer at home with my keyboard and everything, because my setup is very much custom, and if I tried to play on a regular computer, I would suck really bad. But also, Navix live streamed part of it and was passing around a computer on the Converted's Twitch channel. Which was kind of weird because the internet there wasn't fantastic, so our side was kind of frozen, but apparently it still was working. So they kind of said hello to everybody. So
yeah,
it was very
I
cool.
caught a little bit of it. I give Cuddles a hard time a lot, but that was really cool that he put his account up. I don't know if he got permission to do it or not. So Cuddles didn't make any money off of it, I'm sure.
No, he didn't share. He didn't share.
Yeah, he just wanted other people to
just
be able to
showed
see
people
it.
the alpha. This was not account sharing, so there's nothing to worry about there.
Yeah.
But what he did is just showed people a couple of things on it, so there's no worry there.
Yeah.
So
that was something that was
time.
really cool. I heard about that afterwards, and that was
it was
really
a good
cool.
idea. I was kind of surprised the internet was good enough there that he could do it, but it seemed to be working fine, and people were really excited about it.
Just nerf DKs more. It'll be okay.
Leave the Death Knights alone. Just touch the Paladins.
Hey.
The ones whose name starts with M.
I'm not going to say anything because it's very not family friendly where I was going to go with that because of the raid last night and the Paladin jokes that took, 20 minutes?
I was ignoring those while I was taking my naked Scarlet selfies. And by that, I mean my character.
Mm-hmm. I'm not going to say it again because I'll have to edit it again. Don't worry, Draven. There's going to be a whole lot of Pally hate coming forward because the Paladin class hall is the best looking one, and people are going to be bitching about all the other ones for a long time.
Oh, I did hear something cool.
The road got updated.
It did. It still looks like a sewer.
I heard some. Can I spoil a little bit for the Monk class hall?
Class hall, yes.
No.
It's not story. It's not story at all. It's a tribute.
No, I know where you're going. No, that I'm going to count that as a spoiler.
Tributes to the story. So yeah, I wouldn't.
No. It's not.
If it's what I'm thinking it is, yes, it is. You're forgetting. I've done all that.
But this is not in any story at all.
Put it in Skype. Or in group me straight to me.
Did you see it in Skype?
Nope.
Why can't you see what I'm typing in Skype? I can't see what you guys are typing in Skype either. Skype hates me.
We've done so
because
much.
You haven't hit enter yet.
I did hit enter.
I'm going to blame your second screen, and the Skype chat is probably in between the two screens.
Yeah, it's not.
Just put it in group me real quick at me.
There, it's in group me.
Okay, that's not what I was thinking.
Thank you.
All right, I will allow that one.
So, Theory, you know about the guy who leveled Double Agent?
Yeah, the crazy guy who never left the island.
Yes. So for those who don't know, monks when you
not
level
even monks, pandas,
yes. When you level a panda, you cannot get off the starting area until you choose either Horde or Alliance. So this guy named Double Agent, he got really famous because he leveled without choosing a side. He leveled solely by picking flowers and stuff on the little tiny panda starting area, and he's level 100, and his name is Double Agent, and he's a neutral panda. So in the monk class hall, they put like a tribute to him in there. So I think that's awesome. I think it's really cute.
Okay. I thought you were going to say something else, because I know something else too. So that's why I was like, no. But that's cool. I love when they do stuff like that.
I literally thought he was going to say, I thought you were going to say blah, blah, blah. And I was going to be like, you just...
Come on now.
So on the subject of spoilers, you may have noticed over the past few episodes, if you watch the video, some of the backgrounds I've been using have been from the alpha. So there's a little bit of spoiler kind of mixed in some of the pictures. Now, this week, everything's from the movie and all the upcoming hype for the movie. So it's a little bit different. But if you have watched the show at all, you probably have seen some of the stuff that Draven doesn't want to tell you.
Well, the class hall stuff, what they look like, that's pretty much what you've used. Isn't a huge spoiler because you can find that without ruining any story stuff. So that I'm not going to count as actual spoilers. If we do, like if you guys both get alpha and we go through, we might do a spoiler episode where we will have spoiler in our show title when people show up. You will know there are spoilers nonstop.
Spoiler.
Spoiler, we might do a spoiler show.
We may lick Matt Smith.
I need you to say not we in that statement because, number one, I don't even know really who that is, and I am definitely not licking him. So you can say I, if you like, to that statement, and I'm okay with that, but do not say we when referring to us, please.
I'm not doing it either.
Said he is okay with licking Matt Smith, so Theory's going to lick Matt Smith.
That is a negative. No.
I'm not even going to make my comment. Not even going to do it. Not going to happen. So, I'm pretty sure let's just do some shout outs and get out of here. We've got some contact stuff. We'll do that after the shout outs. So, Scarlett, you have any shout outs for the week?
Cheers to a very dirty Nat Peggle. That's my shout outs.
That's your shout out.
Yep.
All right.
I gotta ask, why is he dirty?
He's not
Don't
dirty.
ask her that.
Apparently, there was something in my sink that ate off the picture. So it's really a half picture of Nat Peggle. I think.
So it didn't fade because you were rubbing the glass too much?
No.
Or because you had too strong of a drink in it? You couldn't have come up with something better for your dirty Nat Peggle glass?
I dumped some... I had like this... I was cleaning all the... You know how you go in your fridge and you dump all the like stuff down the drain and then you throw out the old stuff?
Jaren's going to disown us.
There was Nat Peggle in there and he got his face etched by old salad dressing and stuff.
I think now you must come up with a lore story for Dirty Nat Peggle that explains why he's dirty in a much more creative way. And then you need to read it all to us on one of our future episodes.
Challenge accepted. I will totally come up with one in 2 weeks.
So for those that are listening to the audio, Draven just held up a help me sign.
I was playing Wile E. Coyote for a moment. That's why Theory started laughing. I'm assuming.
Yes, that is why I laughed.
Alright, so supposedly Dirty Nat Peggle is Scarlett's shout out. Theory, do you have any shout outs?
Yes, I do have one specifically. We had a raider from a prior raid team come back and join us on the fire department, Shadowborn, who raided with us back in Orcbusters days. So want to give him a shout out. So it was nice to have him with us again, and he's doing fantastic and putting up good numbers as a rogue, as an assassination rogue even, putting up good numbers which is not very easy to do. So shout out to him. And of course, all the regular people I would normally give shout outs to as well. Everybody that was at the CTR meetup, it was fantastic talking to everyone there. I know I didn't remember everybody's names earlier, but it was a really fun time. And not just the ones that were pictured, but everybody else. It was awesome. So there you go.
And for me, since I guess Theory just did all the raid teams and all that, so my raid team's Banana Republic. Despite the 20 minutes of weird paladin hand jokes. We went back last night, we did some achievements, we got some cool stuff, cool, yay. So shout out to them. You just did Hygel, so they're covered. My main shout out, though, I think is going to be to Blood of the Scribe Guild. That is the one on Boulder Fist. That is Lagging Balls' guild over there. That podcast called Lagging Balls, by the way. Since we've had so many weird conversations tonight. Why am I ever surprised about that? Anyway, shout out to a couple of them. They're dragging my other paladin along in an alt run, who I'm totally undergeared for, but they're doing it anyway because they're cool. Other than that, I can't remember the name of that guild. I'm sorry. The streamer Terran23, your guild. They're apparently moving to Zul'jin here soon, but they drag my warlock along with them every now and then because they want to range DPS. That's my most geared range DPS on the Horde side. So those is going to be my shout-outs for the week. So, Theory, is your voice ready to do the contact stuff? Okay, I'm going to assume you just said yes. So, this is how to get a hold of us as per Theory.
So at Epic Fail Podcast, we do love it when you contact us. So here's the ways that you can do that. We are at www.epicfailpodcast.com. On Facebook, you can find us at /podcastepicfail. Twitter is at podcastepicfail. You can follow Draven at Draven Dresden on Twitter. You can follow Scarlet at Scarlet_CTR. And you can follow me, Theory, at Gank Theory, also on Twitter. Don't forget, you can find our podcast on iTunes and Stitcher Radio. We look forward to hearing from you.
Note to self. Even when there's no news, somehow we still manage hour-and-a-half plus shows. Because apparently we are that insane.
Yep. Hey, my voice works. Nice.
Yay.
No news is good news.
Something.
Makes for more fun conversations.
Okay, we'll go with that. I don't know if Dirty Matt Pego counts as fun, but sure.
Depends on why he's dirty. Stay tuned.
Coming in
There
2
will be a
weeks.
story in 2 weeks.
I get approval whether or not we tell this story, so I have to see it ahead of time.
I think it should be a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
I know how her mind works. I'm not allowing that.
That's why it should be a surprise.
Our note to self. Put the explicit note on that show. Okay.
I didn't say it was going to be that kind of dirty.
I know how your mind works. I know he's not big and blue, but
Hey, you don't know that. He might be in her story.
yeah, he could be the Hulk.
You know, he could have met Willy Wonka and had that chewing gum that Violet Beauregard chewed up and turned into a blueberry.
She's
If you know
already
that
got a
story.
premise. The premise is going. She's
Willy
building the
Wonka and
plot.
Nat Peggle.
Do we have any last words?
Chicken. Because I'm eating and I'm hungry.
I'm not your monkey.
To which I will just leave you with.
Hello, Mother. You know, the world could always use more heroes.